What is a boxing channel for, right? I mean, why do you come to my channel? Why do you go to anyone's channel? Look, to me, you go there to get insight and maybe like a unique, maybe perspective or just a unique opinion on whatever situation. Okay, so hopefully that's what you get out of the channel. I try really hard not to just kind of regurgitate or rehash boxing scene articles, things like that. I mean, I take the news and I give you my insight, and then I leave it up to you. At that point, you decide. Okay, so that's kind of what we do here. I mean, I say it because there. I mean, the boxing channels out there, they're just driving me crazy. I mean, I just went to one of my favorite channels, and it was like literally 7 videos were the exact same as the last 7 boxing scene articles. So, it kind of motivated me to make the video tonight. Deontay Wilder and just the whole situation. I mean, look, well, especially in my group, in my Facebook group, Counterpunch Boxing. You guys come over, check it out. A lot of people over there, claiming, I don't know much about Deontay Wilder. I never talk about him. Therefore, how can I give an opinion? Things like that. So look, let's just set the record straight tonight, and I'll give you my breakdown of what I think about him. We'll go over his entire career, in fact, okay? And we'll go over, the latest and the greatest news right now. Deontay Wilder, Dillian Whyte, in the news right now, talking about a potential matchup, that kind of thing. So let's go back. Let's go back to Povetkin, I guess. Just quickly, a brief history, and then I'm going to give you a breakdown of Deontay Wilder and his background, and the problem I have with Deontay Wilder, and the problem I have with the hypocrites on YouTube that have a double standard. Right? I mean, they put on blinders when it comes to certain guys, but when they're talking about Gennady Golovkin or Loma, someone like that, it's a different set of rules, a different set of standards, favoritism, bias, whatever. So I try to be completely fair and unbiased on the channel, although I'm accused of being biased, especially when it comes to Canelo Alvarez and Gennady Golovkin. But there's no bias. It's simply truth, okay? It is simply truth, all right? So, back to Povetkin. Okay, PEDs, we know it, right? Then there was another dude in there. I think he was like a Polish guy. I can't remember who the hell he was. Again, PEDs. I'm like, damn, it's like, I'm kind of feeling bad for Deontay Wilder at this point, right? Okay, then we get the Luis Ortiz, which, King Kong, the boogeyman of the division, right? I was excited about that. He's a little old, 38, but great, Cuban amateur background. He's light on it. He reminds me of maybe like a light heavyweight. The way he moves, and he's a big dude. So I was really looking forward to that. But again, PEDs, right? So okay, this is where we're at. Deontay Wilder right now going. Well, let me back up. Originally, he was going to pay Bermane Stiverne step aside money so he could take the Luis Ortiz fight, right? Which to me was the more dangerous fight. I mean, I don't think that was a duck. I mean, I'll give that to Deontay Wilder, and even the Povetkin, he was willing to go over the pond, to his backyard and fight him in his own backyard. So I do give credit to Deontay Wilder as of late, okay, as of now. But in the past, no way, hell no, and we'll get into it. But right now, he's scheduled to fight the mandatory for the WBC, which is Bermane Stiverne, and we all know Stiverne. They already fought in 2015. Took a loss, and now it looks like that's who he's going to fight. But I don't understand why these two guys, Dillian Whyte and Deontay Wilder, why they're in the media haggling back and forth if Deontay Wilder already has a fight lined up with Stiverne, right? Doesn't make any kind of sense to me unless it's not like a for sure thing. I mean, maybe you guys can help me out on that. Like, what is the point in these two guys bickering back and forth? So, like I said, now it's Dillian Whyte. They're talking about it would be in the UK, but of course the other channels. I just listened to a video and they're talking about a robbery, right? They're like, oh well, Deontay Wilder goes over there, he's going to get robbed, if it goes 12 rounds, that kind of thing. But yet, when we talk about a Jeff Horn or when we talk about a Kovalev Ward or when we talk about a Canelo Golovkin, there's no hometown cooking, there's no robbery, it's all fair game. him. But yet, I mean, these guys, even in a hypothetical situation when they're talking about Deontay Wilder fighting Dillian Whyte, they're already talking about a robbery. The same channels that are like activists against, they're just anti-robbery, like it doesn't exist. So the double standard on YouTube, it's hard. It's hard to have a YouTube channel and just listen to these guys. I mean, I don't know how else to put it. They're just babbling idiots, right? But yeah, Bermane Stiverne, like I said, getting that step aside money for the Ortiz fight. He was the mandatory. And look, I like the fight. Honestly, I'd rather see Bermane Stiverne than a Dillian Whyte. I mean, Dillian Whyte, 21. Okay, 21-1. Okay, check this out. Okay, we all know the TKO lost to Anthony Joshua, right? But back in 2015, 2016, he's fighting guys that were 9-1. Yes, 9-1. Okay, 12-2. 26-6, 24-5. I mean, come on, 9-1. So I don't want to see Dillian Whyte. We already know what's going to happen. Look, it's almost a mismatch. I don't want to see it. I mean, and even if look, Bermane Stiverne, he's been inactive. I think he's had one fight since his loss to Deontay Wilder back in 2015. Yeah, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. I don't have notes in front of me, but he's had one fight since then. And I think the guy that he fought, was a lower level guy. So yeah, Stiverne, 2 losses, 25-2. Demetrius King, with the other loss, Demetrius King, which you guys, I'm sure you know, in 2007, Bermane Stiverne taking that first loss to Demetrius King, second loss to Deontay Wilder, and now he's coming off a unanimous decision win with a guy that had 10 losses. So let me repeat that. Okay, you got Bermane Stiverne. He hasn't fought since 2015. He's fought one time. Against Rossi, a guy with 10 losses, and it was a unanimous decision. Okay, now the other option, Dillian Whyte, 21-1, a guy that's fighting other guys that are 9-1, 12-2, that kind of thing. So, it's hard to give Deontay Wilder credit here, for any of this, but I will give him credit for the fact that he was willing to get in there with Luis Ortiz. Okay, now I'd like to see like an Anthony Joshua, but look, they're going to save that. That's probably one of the biggest, heavyweight fights that can be made right now. So I'm sure they're going to, and I don't know if you guys are reading these pictures right here, but, I'm sure they're going to save that for later. But like I said, if I had to pick, if it was up to me, I would like a Stiverne rematch because I don't think Bermane Stiverne, I don't think he was himself that night. He said he was like severely dehydrated, things like that. He had to be immediately hospitalized like right after the fight. So I think in a rematch, I don't know, he might give Deontay Wilder a few problems, especially with that ring rust. But look, they both have ring rust. I mean, like I said, they both have been, incredibly inactive. So, but yeah, and then of course you guys remember the Gerald Washington fight, Chris Areola, Splitska, whatever. Which, by the way, he trains right here in Houston with Irizlandi Lara, Brian Vera, the Charlo twins out of Plex Gym with Ronnie Shields. Right near my house. So, dude got knocked out. DeHopis, Molina, which is another Texas dude. I was really rooting for Eric Molina, but I knew he was going to lose. And then, of course, Bermane Stiverne in 2015. So, but yeah, I mean, Stiverne, only one fight since 2015. Only one fight against, like I said, Derek Rossi, 10 losses. So, it's hard to get excited about the heavyweight division. Like I just gave you the options on the table, right? You got Dillian Whyte, a dude fighting 9-1, 12-2 guys, or you have an incredibly inactive mandatory for the WBC mandatory, Bermane Stiverne. I mean, these are our options right here, but I think it's necessary because I mean, with all the problems that Deontay Wilder has had, you have to give him a pass regardless of his history. Now, look, let's go over the history, and I've got a picture I'm going to show you too after I read this. But for you guys that claim I don't know, who Deontay Wilder is, I do. Here's the thing. I mean, anyone that is a Southern fighter, he's from Alabama. I'm from Texas. I'm very familiar with them because I really try to support the Southern fighters. And I even want to support, Deontay Wilder, right? He is the American WBC champion. Like, I want to get behind him and I want to support him, but he's got to get on it. You know what I mean? He's got to start making moves, and I believe he tried to. I really do. I believe with the Povetkin situation, and even with the Luis Ortiz. I mean, as much as as much as you might hate on him, you have to give him credit for that. You really do. So, look, Deontay Wilder held the WBC since 2015, and in doing so, became the first American heavyweight champion in 9 years. Okay, I mean that's pretty damn cool. I think. Which was the longest period in American heavyweight history. To have a recognized champion. So like I said, you want to support your American champion, especially, to me, he's a Southern American champion. Bronze Olympics 2008. Uh, let's see, the bronze, of course, the bronze bomber. And I wonder if that's how he got his name. I'm not quite sure. But KO to win ratio 97.3, 18 first round knockouts. Now here's the problem that I have is his entire resume. Like like up until the last 2 or 3 fights, the problem I have is literally his entire resume, which we're about to talk about in a minute. But by 2007, uh let's see, he what was it? I think it was Golden Gloves, right? I don't have a lot. I have a few things written down for him, but I think 27. He fought in the National Golden Gloves and the U.S. Championships. Beat Thomas or Thompson, I think was his name, in the finals in 2008. Beat two gold Olympic champs for losing. Now remember, this is why he got the bronze. 2008 beat two gold Olympic champs for losing to Clemente Russo in the semifinals to earn a bronze medal. Okay, at age 23. Made his debut in Nashville, knocking out Ethan Cox. Fought 7 times in 2009. Okay, this is where it starts to get a little bit crazy. Fought 7 times in 2009, right? Okay, by October 2012, racked up a 25 win streak inside 4 rounds. Okay, I mean, think about this: 7 times in 2009. By 2012, 25 win streak inside 4 rounds. I mean, he's knocking these dudes out within 4 rounds, okay? 25 times. I mean, that's incredible. It would be incredible, but he was like literally fighting cab drivers, insurance salesmen, like your next door neighbor type dudes, like like the seven, like I just named with Dillian Whyte with the 9-1 and the 12-2s, those kind of guys. I mean, they're literally amateurs, right? So, but yeah, but notable wins: former WBA Owen Beck light heavyweight challenger, Braun 15-6, won his first title in pro boxing, knocking out unbeaten 37-year-old Kevin Price 13-0, winning the vacant WBC Continental, and has defended that belt twice. 2013 beat Harrison. And this is where it gets kind of relevant. 31-6 on his UK debut. 2013 KOing former heavyweight champion. 25-5 at main event on the Showtime card. I don't know if you guys remember that Showtime. If you watch Showtime, I'm a big fan of Showtime boxing, but I remember that fight, February 2014. Malik Scott in an eliminator fight for the WBC on the undercard of Garcia Herrera. Remember Garcia Herrera? It was a robbery. Herrera won that fight. They fought on the undercard. I'm sure you guys remember that. And at that time, Deontay Wilder was ranked number 3. Scott ranked number 26. Okay, so again, another issue I have. He was ranked number 3, fighting a guy ranked number 26. After that fight, Deontay Wilder was still ranked number 3, and this set up the Wilder for the mandatory challenge, the WBC mandatory challenge against Bermane Stiverne. Okay. And I'm sure you guys remember that. And then 2014, Jason Gavin, and that was on the Porter Brook undercard, winning the WBC from Stiverne 118, 109, 119, 108, 120, 107. Wilder Molina 2015. Okay, I'm sure you remember that, which, by the way, I was really, I like Molina. I think he's got a lot of heart, so I was kind of going for him in that. And that was third title defense. And then the Povetkin situation, right? then right after that, you get the Povetkin situation canceled. Okay, and this is where I wrote a few things down. I'm just going over the brief history with you guys. Okay, and then we get the Chris Arreola fight and the Gerald Washington fight. He breaks his hand. Here we are. Okay, so I mean that's a brief history. You got the Olympics, the bronze, bronze medal, and the what is it, 25 knockouts within 4 rounds, fighting what was it, 7 times I think in 2009. I mean it's crazy, right? So you look at all that, and there's really nothing notable on his resume, and that's the issue I have with Deontay Wilder. You know, it just seems like even in the Olympics, I don't know, he was really fighting guys that it was almost a mismatch. So I don't know. I mean, he really needs to be tested, but against who, right? I mean, who's out there? Luis Ortiz, number one, yes. Anthony Joshua, yes. I mean, Povetkin, I would have loved to have seen that. And like I said, right now, being that he's been inactive, I would think the Bermane Stiverne fight will be a good. I would say a comeback, a good just to get back in the ring, that kind of thing, and get comfortable again before he gets in there with like an Anthony Joshua, something like that. But I definitely do not want to see a Dillian Whyte fight. Look, guys, is there anyone out there that wants to see a Dillian Whyte fight? I mean, seriously. Yeah, I just literally I wouldn't watch it. I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. I just would not watch it. So, but right now it's looking like Bermane Stiverne. So I like that. Um, and truthfully, like I said, I think he'll keep he'll hang on to the WBC, and we'll probably end up getting a Anthony Joshua, Deontay Wilder. But in between, because if he fights anyone, somewhat notable like Bermane Stiverne, then they're going to throw him another cherry, probably Dillian Whyte, before we get a big mega, heavyweight bout. So that's pretty much all I have to say about it. But here, look, here's the picture I wanted to show you guys. Okay, Deontay Wilder's opponents ranking in the heavyweight division: top 10 opponents 1, top 20 to top 10 0, top 30 to top 20 0, 35 to 30 1, 40 to 35 2, 50 to 40 13, 60 to 50 18. So if you look at this, right, it's crazy. I mean, he's fighting guys, top 60, top 18, right? 50 to 40 13, 40 to 35 2, and top 10s 1. Okay, I mean this is the problem people have with Deontay Wilder. Top 10 opponents 1. All right. Like I said, he was literally fighting cab drivers. I'm not making it up. You can go back and check it out for yourself. So yeah, so we need to see more. I mean, for me to really fully support Deontay Wilder, and for my channel to get behind him, I got to see more. So I don't know, guys. What do you think about Deontay Wilder? What do you think about the Dillian Whyte fight? What do you think about the Povetkin situation, Luis Ortiz? And like I said, there was another dude which I can't even remember in there. He was like Polish. I cannot, but there's some other guy that tested positive. So, I think he's had just kind of a bad run of luck. So right now I'm going to give him a pass. What do you think?